Sports Now. I'm Marky Billson, and joining me on the line here is a guy who's going to go to a ball game tonight. Lucky him. Well, you can too, because there are 4 baseball games all around the Tri-Cities: the Bristol Pirates, the Elizabethton Twins, Johnson City Cardinals, and the Greenville Reds, all at home tonight. It's opening day of the Appalachian League baseball season, and the brand new president of the league, Dan Moushon, is on the line with me here now. And before this, I think this is a time to introduce you because, of course, Lee Landers had been the president of the Appalachian League for more than a generation, dating back to, I think, 1995. And so can you tell us a little bit about your background here, Dan Moushon, and how you came about to be the Appalachian League president?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on, Marky.
It's my pleasure.
My rapport with Lee Landers, and it goes back 3 decades. I actually got my start in professional baseball in 1987, and then Lee Landers hired me in 1989, and I was his assistant general manager in Springfield, Illinois for 3 years. So I've known Lee for 30-plus years and have been involved in the Appalachian League as the vice president of the Burlington Royals Club for 23 years or so. So I've been involved in the league in a different role, but have constantly been associated with Lee Landers.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the 23 years Burlington Royals booster club. I assume that also dates back to the days of the Burlington Indians. Is that correct?
Correct. 2007 to current is the Royals. Prior to that, 1986 to 2006 was the Burlington Indians.
Okay, I mentioned that because I remember going to Appalachian League games and, during that era, of a previous era, and sitting next to someone and his son, and he was following around his son who was a player in the league, okay? I believe he played for Johnson City, and he said, boy, do they do it right in Burlington. They got a great booster club in Burlington. And this was just coming out of someone who was as objective as could be. His own son was playing for the Johnson City Cardinals. So when you've got that kind of a recommendation, now I kind of understand how you got the job there, Dan Moushon. Now you're in there, that triad area. Are you going to see the what game are you going to see today?
I will be in Elizabethton, going to see the Twins play tonight.
All right, I may drop in and see you then. So there you are right there. Now, I want to ask you here a little bit about the league. I got to tell you this, and this is one of the frustrations I have in covering it, I suppose. It's that here it was, I'm doing my prep work for today's show. I go to the website of every single Appalachian League team, and there are only 2, the Bristol Pirates and the Bluefield Blue Jays, that have complete rosters up on their websites. Now, I know this is, a lot of the major league organization and such, but to me that sort of says, boy, it really is more about the event than the game, if you will, if you are an Appalachian League fan. Am I right there? Or, well, tell me why I'm wrong if I'm not.
Well, it's kind of twofold. We got, Appalachian, we're the last of the leagues to start. There's a lot of our players that come right out of the draft. The Major Baseball draft just occurred 14 days ago. So a lot of the rosters you ask them, look to find today, well, we're still getting them coming into me. They're being emailed into me as we speak, and the rosters are still being formulated. So some of these players didn't even know until maybe the last week, the last 3 days, where they're going to be assigned. So it's a work in progress. Each of the local general managers and operators would like to have their roster earlier as well, but that's something in the nature of it, the way the league is structured. That a rookie league is a young league, players are going to be signed at the last minute or being moved from a lower classification like the Gulf Coast League or Arizona League, and it's just the nature of it. So, but to answer the second part of that, yes, there's twofold. From the on-field side, that's all Major League Baseball oriented, there for development, but on the other side, in the front office role of the general manager in minor leagues is to sell tickets and advertising and concessions to people in the ballpark. It's much different than people think the standard term of a GM. Okay, you're signing players, trading players. Well, yes, that's true at the major league level, but at the minor league level, it's a whole different role.
Oh, sure, I get that. I mean, it's about making sure there's enough soda pop in the concession stand, not necessarily who's going to play shortstop. That's the minor league director. I do understand that here. But nevertheless, it would be sort of nice. Okay, we knew that Benito Santiago, and I can see where he'd be something of a drawing card. He's going to play for the second year in Johnson City. Okay, I can see that. Would kind of be nice, though, if after the baseball draft there was a little bit more of an announcement from the Major League organization. You know what? We're really thinking about slotting that guy for Elizabethton, or we're really thinking about slotting that guy for the Gulf Coast League or the New York Penn League, whatever. Is there any way you, as the new president, can try to make that happen? It would just seem like there would be so much more of a buzz if we knew after Nolan Gorman, let's say last year, was drafted that he would be a Johnson City Cardinal instead of just speculating.
Well, you never know. It's a numbers game. It kind of depends on what happens at a higher level. These other leagues, like the Cardinals' case, they got a club in the Midwest League, which would be Peoria. They've been playing since April. There's an injury all of a sudden in the last 3 days in Peoria. A person who might have been ticketed for Johnson City now may be going somewhere else. So there's a lot of moving parts. So it's not, it's not that simple.
Okay. Now, I want to ask this. I mean, certainly Elizabethton has been the dominant franchise of the Appalachian League for many years. And I think the reason why that is just the way the Twins weight their minor league system. A lot of Appalachian League players are promoted to, say, the New York Penn League, say the Kingsport Mets to Brooklyn, that sort of thing. In Elizabethton, you go right to the Midwest League. You're going straight to full season A. And so, therefore, the Elizabethton Twins, they're basically a New York Penn League team playing in the Appalachian League, and that's one of the reasons why they win so much. Do you fear anything of that competitive balance? Is that a problem in the Appalachian League, in your opinion?
No, not really, but I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, it is structured as this is in effect a short season club as opposed to a rookie club. But you're not the only one in the league. The Danville Braves are the same way. The Atlanta Braves do not have a club in Northwest League, New York Penn League either, so they, in effect, the Danville club, you go straight from Danville to Georgia as well. So it's still a situation. But in reality, over the course of a 68-game schedule, you pretty much playing a balanced schedule. It's not that big of a concern.
Okay. Let me, we're talking to Dan Moushon. He is the new president of the Appalachian League. Here's the big rumor that's going out, and it has for some time. Oh, the Smokies would love to move back to Knoxville. And then you got this nice park there at Kodak. And, Boyd Sports, they run that, the Tennessee Smokies and all that. Is Kodak, Sevierville, Tennessee, destined to be a future Appalachian League franchise in the next decade?
That's something I'm not going to comment on.
Okay.
Lori Webb, my peer, the Southern League president there, that's her territory in their league. So I'm not going to comment.
Okay, right there. So, but what about Boyd Sports? Here's an entity that now has, of the 5 pro sports franchises in Northeast Tennessee, the Smokies, the Reds, the Twins, the Cardinals, and the Mets. They're running 4 of them, all except the Kingsport Mets. Is there do you have any fear of, say, a monopoly or something? I mean, setting ticket prices, this sort of thing. Could you see where this is a problem, or is this a help in your opinion?
It's not a problem. I guess the opposite. If you take a look at when Boyd Sports got involved with Johnson City,
Sure.
you can see how it's been transformed. What's really developed with the Cardinals is Zach Clark, some of the great staff they've had there, and how that has really taken off. That's a great thing to have the support from Boyd Sports and some of the experience of Chris Allen and Jeremy Bowler, who've done the staff with the Smokies, to come in and help train some of the people in Johnson City. I mean, that's an asset. And now I think you're going to see the same thing happen in Elizabethton over time. Mike Main did a wonderful job in Elizabethton all these years, functioning as the director of Parks and Rec as a full-time job, and then at the same time having to run the club. So he never had the opportunity to have a staff there. And now, with Boyd Sports come on board, you've got a full-time staff there, and I think over time you're going to see the Twins grow as well.
Okay, now, what is realistic for the Elizabethton Twins to grow? Because I've got to think that, it's going to be tough for them to draw from, say, Johnson City with a franchise right there. And then you look at where they could, places like, I don't know, Hampton or, Butler or something like that, splitting Mountain City with the Bristol Pirates. There aren't that many people there. All things aside, per capita, they draw quite well historically, but is it in the cards for the Elizabethton Twins, in your opinion, to ever meet these wonderful attendance figures that, say, the Johnson City Cardinals have been posting?
Well, I don't know about Johnson City. You also got to know that over time, Johnson City has grown their attendance. I mean, sports didn't come in right away. You see great attendance. They built it up over a couple of years, and it took some time. That was the same thing that happened with the Elizabethton, but I would actually compare maybe Elizabethton to the Pulaski, Virginia club. Very similar markets, very similar stadiums at one time, and then a new operator came into Pulaski and really revitalized it with the staffing and what he has done to the facility. David Hagan came in and just renovated that facility, and it's a very similar market. So I think that's more of a comparison. What Pulaski did, what maybe Elizabethton can do. I know they've had dialogue between the two clubs too. How do they work with you? Because they realize that they have very similar markets.
We're talking to Dan Moushon. He's the new president of the Appalachian League. What are your plans here for the Appy League? What would you like to accomplish?
We've made a really strong push this year. Miley Baseball's been trying to push as well, but we had our charitable contributions and get involved in the community. And we had our meeting in February in Johnson City where all the drill managers came together. We did a service project at the Good Samaritan Ministries, and it was very well received. And I like to see that kind of continue in the league. I think future league meetings will do the same thing, that we can have a meeting, move it around to different cities within the league, but then kind of give back to the community. And I think everybody in the league's kind of buying into it, and it's really what we're all about.
Well, okay, in the days where you would have, say, a Parks and Recs own a pro sports franchise, and it was very mom and pop, I say run a pro sports franchise, and that's basically what was done in the old days in Johnson City and Elizabethton, for instance. But I know that if they were run as non-profit franchises, and for instance, if there was a profit, that kind of went back to, say, the city, the youth, if you will. You might, for youth baseball in Johnson City, buy bats or something like that. I think one year they had $900. They could do that. It seems to run. So you're talking about charities with ministries and such. What charities, now that it's not run by Parks and Recs, in addition to ministries, might the Appalachian League be helping to fund?
That's up to each individual club. I'm talking more about donating time. They have our staff actually out there and volunteering their time and efforts to give back to the community. And that's going to be up to each individual club with what they may have in their own locale.
Okay, that's understandable. Hey, there's some talk about new ballparks for Bristol as well as Kingsport. Where are those talks right now?
They're very preliminary, but I mean, they have the discussions in both communities, as you mentioned, and I think it's tremendous. Obviously, all of a sudden you've got the renovations in Johnson City that have taken place, the deck things that are built. You have the new ballpark in Greenville, and all of a sudden, take what happened in Pulaski. Look at the video in Pulaski, where they continue to improve each year. My goodness, this morning I took a tour of the Elizabethton clubhouse, which is truly amazing. And talking to the Minnesota Twins folks today, it ranks right up with the best in the organization. I mean, it's really pretty impressive.
I was there myself, and yes, I do think so. I was also impressed with the fact that there was a kitchen there, because I know, having been around minor league baseball for some time, a lot of times a player, he's trying to advance up the ladder. Hey, it's 10:30 in Elizabethton after a ball game. How's he going to eat healthy at a restaurant? What's open then? That sort of thing. And so this allows someone that they can buy their own food and actually eat healthy, that sort of thing. That you have a kitchen right there in the clubhouse. I thought that was brilliant and a great thing. There was one thing though, the connection. It used to be that, the clubhouse was right there on the field. Now it appeared to me, do you have to walk through the parking lot to get to the new clubhouse for the Elizabethton Twins?
And again, the players go after the door, it goes right through the outdoor wall.
Okay, that's there. So it's like Yeah, it's like the polo grounds. I mean, back in those days, the clubhouse was in the outfield and all that. So, yeah, I get that. It's connected.
There's direct access.
Okay, because when I was there, I saw it, and, I mean, the manager's office, we had to go through, they directed me off the field and into the parking lot to go through there, but you can get there. Okay, I get that and such. Let me ask you this here, Dan Moushon, president of the Appalachian League. Some of we mentioned before, about maybe we don't know who some of the players are, but of the players that that will be there, who do you think some of the big stars might be here this year in the Appalachian League, based on who we know is already here?
It's pretty tough to tell on opening day. As I said, I was still working on rosters and double checking on the rosters, so I couldn't give you an answer at this point.
Okay, yeah, so I mean, like I said, there are some guys that are returning, and I don't know if they'd be big stars, they might be recognizable names. Benito Santiago is a recognizable name, for instance, and after this concludes, I'm going to tell some people about some players who will be on the Bristol Pirates, that sort of thing. Now, you mentioned you'll be in Elizabethton. Are you going to try to model yourself like Faye Vincent and go to an Appalachian League game every day?
No, I'm going to... There's various things you have to do. I mean, I'm going to hit every ballpark in the first 10 to 14 days. I'll be in every facility. But, after that, a lot of it's going to be on an easy basis. In some cases, I need to go see the umpires because I haven't seen a certain crew work yet. Or there may be a certain farm director that's going to need to visit. I want to sit down and discuss, various items with. So it's, my office is in Chapel, North Carolina, so I'm a short distance away. So I can get to any facility in any day in short notice. So a lot of it's going to be where I need to be at a certain time.
Well, that's understandable. But yeah, you mentioned you'll be at every ballpark. I'm thinking when Faye Vincent was the commissioner of baseball, and he too, I guess he didn't go to a game every day, but he did hit all the ballparks. So that was me. At that time, it was 26. So there you go. That always impressed me. It impresses me. You're going to all the ballparks too. He's Dan Moushon. You can meet, I guess, will you be meeting fans in Elizabethton tonight?
Anyone still wants to come in, I'd be glad that anyone wants to come out to the ballpark and Elizabethton, and pretty excited what they have going on out there.
There you go. There are 4 teams that are playing tonight in the Appalachian League at home in the Tri-Cities, everybody but Kingsport. So there you go. One last question, though. You've moved the start time up to 6:30 for these games. Why?
It's really a farm director's issue. We have a baseball winter meeting each year at the annual meeting. It was brought up to move the games up to 6:30, and I didn't know how well it was going to be received. But it was every operator got the chance to voice their opinion, and every farm director had the chance to voice their opinion, and it was unanimous. Let's move it to 6:30, and the thinking was, especially for the clubs over here in the West, where there's so many commutes, like tonight Kingsport's playing in Greenville, so they're going to get back into Kingsport a little bit earlier than they would normally. So the idea was on these commute trips, getting back a little earlier, not getting back so late. And you start thinking about it, okay, if we're going to do it for all those, always make it across the board. We've had some clubs in the league over the last few years had been experimenting with maybe 6 o'clock or 6:30 starts on Saturdays and Sundays. They'd had some success with the 6:30 starts on Saturdays, and just did it across the board. It's kind of structured as a one-year trial. Let's see how it goes. We can reevaluate it and see what happens at the end of the year.
Do we ever see more day games?
Well, that's up to individual clubs. A lot of them will do, maybe one day in a year during the week, that's a kids' day or a camp day. That's up to individual clubs. If they want to do that, that's fine. But I don't think we want to do too many of them. 1 or 2 a year for each club might be appropriate.
All right, he's Dan Moushon. He's the new president of the Appalachian League. Meet him in Elizabethton tonight or in the future at the local Appy League stadium of your choice.
Thank you, Marky.
Thank you very much. I'll try to make the Elizabethton. Shake your hand. What do you say?